you stop the car right now. Stop the car.
Okay, that's a great idea, Jet. We should get off the grid right now.
Welcome to this lecture series of cinematic lighting. In the previous video, we learned what is key lighting, and how cinematographers use key lighting to create amazing visual narratives. If you have not seen that video, I recommend you see that first. In this video, we are going to talk about fill light and how to use it. So let's see what is fill light first. The fill light in classic three-point lighting is a weaker light that sits opposite the principal key light. It will essentially fill in the high contrast shadows that the key light makes on a subject's face from this new viewpoint. The fill enhances details in the dark to achieve the cinematographer's desired mood. Let's see some types of fill lights. Depending upon your financial constraints and needs in a scene, there are several types of lighting techniques you can use to achieve your desired fill light effect. The most obvious source of fill light is an actual light. A lighting rig, on the other hand, might be out of your price range. If you can only afford one light, the key light should always come first. Next, we have reflectors. Reflectors are inexpensive, portable, and available in a variety of sizes and colors. They simply reflect the key light back towards the subject. The color of the reflector will modify the shadow. A gold reflector will cause warmer tones on the subject. A white foam board that bounces light can be ideal for outdoor shoots, as foam boards are durable and do not shake in the wind. Any reflective material can act as a fill light as long as it does not introduce a new color into the shadow. However, reflective surfaces such as mirrors and aluminum often reflect too much light back onto the subject. Walls and ceilings can also act as large reflectors of light, bouncing back the key light. This helps create a soft and subtle lighting effect. Clothing is another option when it comes to picking a reflector. Lighter colored clothes can also create a subtle effect, so you may opt to have your crew wear some. In a well-lit situation, a flash will remove shadows and can go a long way. Another advantage of using a fill flash is that you can shoot the subject with the sun behind their back. This is similar to a strobe light. When a cinematographer needs a fill light that is darker than natural light, they simply use a black or opaque flag put on a butterfly frame to hide the ambient light. As a result of this, excess light is not reflected back at the topic. In production, unexpected light such as light leaks can have a negative impact on a shot. Working in a dedicated studio area, where you have more control over light sources and spill becomes a more predictable variable, is the greatest approach to avoid spill. Now that we know what can we use to create fill light, let's see how to measure fill lights. Cinematographers measure fill lights using a fill light ratio, also known as a key to fill ratio. The fill light ratio refers to the amount of light emitted by the primary key light and the secondary fill light. A lower, more balanced fill ratio, like 2:1, creates a soft, flattering look that also tends to hide blemishes in the skin when your subjects are people. This soft light is high-key lighting and creates an optimistic, upbeat, youthful, light, and airy mood that is common in sitcoms and comedies. In a higher fill ratio, like 8:1, where the key is 8 times stronger than the fill, the key casts sharp-edged shadows that contrast sharply with the light. This is low-key lighting, which creates a dramatic, mysterious, unsettling, and alienating mood and can display a range of deep negative emotions. As such, it is common in dark dramas, thrillers, and horror. Now, let's see some ways to use fill lighting. Cinematographers utilize fill lights in a variety of ways to achieve different looks and moods. As is best practice in all disciplines, before you break the rules, you should master the basics. A fill light works best when you position it at a general opposite angle from the key light. If you place the key slightly off to the side of the camera and the front of the subject, on a light stand at a 45-degree angle to the camera, creating high contrast shadows on the side of the face. The fill should be on the left at a similar angle. Typically, the fill light is less bright than the key. In fact, it is customary that the fill is half as bright as key light. You can control the fill light's brightness by using diffusers and modifiers and adjusting its distance from the subject. Some common diffusers you can use to soften hard light include silks, scrims, and neutral density gels. All of these techniques can reduce light without changing its color. It's important that the fill light remains indistinctive and does not create any shadows of its own. If the fill light is creating a second shadow, you should dim the brightness of the source. The fill light will create fewer shadows when it is closer to the camera. Where you place your lights, relative to your subject and the camera, determines where shadows fall. How you position your fill and backlight affects whether there are deep, moody shadows or an optimistic, even light cast across your scene. These are some uses of fill lighting. If you are interested in filmmaking and content creation, then you should check out the description section below and comment down that you are going to implement this lighting technique in your videography. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you think that we are adding value to your filming knowledge. In the next video, we will see backlighting, which is placed behind the actor to help define their features and distinguish them from the background. We will see you in the next video.